So I'm 100% sure you would have definitely, had a thought in your mind that what exactly the PTI is. And today we are going to cover that topic for you. So we will understand today that what exactly the PTI process is, and we'll try to explain in detail.
For latest updates, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon.
Hello friends, myself Maulik Pathak. Welcome to JBS Academy. Today we are going to discuss about very interesting topic and subject which is related to reefer container movements, where on a routine basis, if for you it would be very usual to hear from the shipping line or from their surveyors that PTI containers are not readily available. So I'm 100% sure you would have definitely had a thought in your mind that what exactly the PTI is. And today we are going to cover that topic for you. So we will understand today that what exactly the PTI process is, and we'll try to explain in detail. So let us first understand what exactly the definition of PTI. PTI is abbreviation of pre-trip inspection of the container which is conducted for empty reefer unit before it is released to shipper or the transporter based on cargo release order or the booking, and it ensures that containers are in sound condition and in proper condition, because definitely the containers are going to be used for very perishable cargo, as it is going to be used for reefer movement itself. So they evaluate and correct the cooling function, the devices are correctly updated or not, are functioning or not, and that is what basically the PTI definition is. So further, let us understand how exactly the PTI process happens in detail. So once the container is received in yard, in terms of imports, when the export happens, then definitely at the other hand the container would be received at the yard, duly the container destuffing and everything. So once the import destuffed container is received, then the same container has to be examined under the PTI through process before the same equipment is further being released against the allotment to the customer or transporter. Basically, all assigned authorities like shipping line, empty container yard, or third party agencies, whomsoever are on roll for that particular process, they have a process and the checklist which is moreover in similar to the other. The same process usually has to be carried away for all reefer containers across the location before the container is released to the customer. The same confirmed once the PTI process is confirmed, then it is through the unit or container are fit for the stuffing and export movement or XYZ movement from that particular location. So the allotment can only happen, and the PTI technician also has to give the confirmation and green signal to the yard after having the thorough checklist. As per that checklist process, the PTI has to be completed. And so basically PTI is only the set of checklist examination process for the reefer container which has to be underway, and only after the same container can be allotted to the customer. So just to simplify, containers can the PTI process can be evaluated in two different categories. One is the non-supply mode, and the other is supply mode. So non-supply mode is basically the power off, because as the container movement involved for the reefer equipment, so the reefer equipment, when it is turned off, still the evaluation can be carried away, that is the non-supply mode. And with the plug-in and with the equipment cooling function is enabled and the inspection happens, that is the power on mode. First we will understand about power off mode first. So logically speaking, when the container is not providing any cooling procedure or effect, the same inspection can be carried away. Likewise, the normal container, which is visual inspection. So any visual inspection like dent or rust or missing component or door locks or etc etc, there are so many different possibilities out there. So any such damage found out in that particular container, then the further extended inspection cannot be carried away. The same container is not worthy enough to further moved out for the export activity. The second is clean inspection. So which is basically the indoor container inspection is carried away, like internal cleaning is there, packaging material or any spillover or spillage or drainage plug intact, because the container, reefer container, have the the tent facility as well. So inflow and outflow for that particular purpose, the tents are also available. The vent has to be checked properly, whether they are being operated properly or not, any order is there, any drain plug issues are there or not. That is basically the power of mode or non-supply mode inspections are carried away. Then comes the power on mode, which is supply mode inspection. So this inspection can only be carried away by the authorized technician for the PTI inspection, authorized and the given the responsibility by the authorities, third party agencies, or the the empty container yard technician only, who identifies when the plugin and everything is on, even reefer cooling effect is also working. So they identify first with the inspection carried away for the noise or any buzzers from components or any other the abnormality they identify when the inspection is carried away. Then they ensure the display is lit and shown both the temperatures, like outside temperature also and the inside the temperature, which has to be maintained properly. Further, they check the different components which are very essential for the cooling effect, like fan, compressor, the other set of different equipments which are also incorporated into it, the different ICs, humidity setup and everything. They have to identify whether all functions are working correctly or not. And the same they check for certain period of time. Usually the PTI inspection time is somewhat around 3 to 4 hours. That is the ideal time within which we can identify whether the cooling effect can be maintained within the stipulated time and can be carried away till the on water transit as well, and there won't be any issue for the any incursion or dropout and any mishandling of the temperature cargo. Once all these parameters have been identified and carried away properly, then they further go ahead with the final calibration as per the requirement of the customer. For example, for any pharma shipment, customer has the requirement for set temperature of within 15 to 25 degrees Celsius range, and exact set temperature would be, for example, 20 degree. So that setting has to be carried out by the technician. Also any humidity setting requirement which are there. For example, for pharma, usually it is used to be 65% humidity is required to maintain the cargo intact and in proper condition. So all the requirement has to be precisely updated, and the equipment should be kept on that particular settings itself by the technician. And then the person who is supposed to have the allotment of the container, they also check. They have to get the proper PTI certificate and technician report as well. They need to have identified and confirmed that the container is properly working in sound condition, and further the allotment form would be issued based on that. So I hope now you would be having the more clarity about what exactly the PTI process is, and confidently you would be able to explain it to customer as well as and when required, because wherever you give the reason that PTI containers are not available, then definitely customer would be having the question what exactly the PTI is. So I hope the same interactive session would be helpful to you for your further endeavors. Stay tuned. We'll definitely come with more and more videos from our side. Thank you.
Logistics subjects. Visit www.logiveda.com.